welcome back or welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to be going over rush bag necessities, so I'll just get right into the video. Okay, so I rushed at Auburn University in fall of 2023, so about a year ago. Rush is super soon. It's actually, what's today? July 25th, 2024. Hey Siri, how many days until August 9th? There is 15 days until rush starts for the PNMs. Mine starts a little earlier because I am an active member, but for all the PNMs that y'all are probably watching this because you need help with what to put in your rush bag, y'all have 15 days until rush starts at Auburn. It's a little later at Bama, but it differs from school to school. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to go through 11 main points. Each one is going to have a slide before I talk about it, just so you can see, and every single thing that I talk about in this video is in my Amazon storefront. You can either copy and paste the link that is in my YouTube bio, or you can go on my Instagram or my TikTok or anything and go to my Amazon storefront link. Okay, enough talking, and now time to talk more about what to put in your rush bag. Okay, first things first is that you need a rush bag. I feel like that's pretty obvious, but most people don't really give much advice about what to get for a rush bag, and it's more of what to put in your rush bag. Most of this video is about what to put in your rush bag, but I feel like one key factor that is super important for your rush bag is to make sure you have a good place to put your water bottle, because I used a Stanley, which I have linked to my Amazon storefront. I have the exact one that I use. And I needed someplace in my bag to put that where it was secure, because if not, it's falling over and your stuff would get wet. And trust me, there's horror stories of people's rush bags getting wet, and that's just like horrible. You don't want that to happen to you. So some of the bags that I linked, they have little like outside pockets that's perfect for your Stanley. But if you don't want a Stanley, I linked a Hydro Flask and a Walla. I don't know, I think they're cute. I don't have one, but those would be perfect even if you don't have a little pocket. But also, I think that it is super important not only to get a rush bag that is personalized to you, but for you to personalize it yourself with a name tag. So it is super good to have a name tag to where you can put your name on it just so you know it's yours, because sometimes rush bags, certain ones like on Amazon and stuff, get popular and you don't know until rush like which one everybody has. You want to make sure you know which rush bag is yours, and it'll just make you feel super fun having your own bag. Next is get a good water bottle. I was talking about this a little bit ago in my last one about all the Stanley, Walla, the Hydro Flask, and everything. I love my Stanley. I know it's not the most practical just because they do leak if it falls over, but as I said, if you get a good rush bag that has a place for you to put your water bottle, that should not be an issue. All of the ones that I linked are definitely my favorites, but in no way, shape, or form do you have to like buy a new water bottle for this. It's just obviously I'm in Alabama at Auburn University, and so it's super important to have water all of the time because it gets so hot. And I feel like no matter where you're rushing, even if you rush like spring semester, I think it's still important you need to drink a lot of water, like no matter the time of year, no matter the temperature. Next is a rush fan. You need this. If you do not get a rush fan, you'll spend most of your week feeling sorry for yourself and mooching off of other people's fans. I'm being honest. My rush fan that I have, I still use it. I used it like last month when I go to Universal, or like when you go to Disney, when you go on vacation. As an active, I'm going to use it during rush because I'm probably going to get hot at some point. It'll be nice to just have around. It's super, super nice. Mine has never died on me. It comes with a charger, which is awesome. It's not battery powered, so then you can just plug it in every night, and that's exactly what I did. Make sure you do that, otherwise, well, it obviously will die. People complain about fans, like all these ones you get online, or like that they die on you. Well, did you charge it last night, or have you not charged it since 3 days ago? And I know it shouldn't be an every night type of thing, like it should last a while, but just as a caution, I would charge it every single night, or maybe just when you go to get dinner after your rush day is done, you know, just charge it at a convenient time, and then you will be able to use it again in the future. I use it so much. Next are little storage bags. I have the ones that you just saw in the previous clip. I have those ones linked. I thought they were super cute. I love the ones with the little like letters on them, or just like words, and then the little roller rabbit dupe. I thought that was super cute. So those are really important for some things I will talk about soon in the video, like all the little trinkets and things that you need. Like, for example, hair stuff can be in one bag, snacks and mints and all the breath freshening stuff can be in another bag, and like pens can be in another bag, just so that you don't have your rush bag and then you just throw all that little stuff in. That would be so unorganized. Next is notebook and pens. This is so important. You will use this every day. I know some people take notes in their phone app, but I feel like writing it down and like color coding with highlighters, I highly recommend getting highlighters just for fun, and also you'll use them like in your planner if you're organized like that. I loved using highlighters in my planner for school, so I didn't only use all this stuff for Rush, I used it for school, and it was super helpful. You will use a notebook every round of Rush, but especially the first round, which is ice water teas at Auburn, but at other schools it's called open house or house tours, stuff like that. So basically with ice water teas, you will be voting, ranking, whatever the school does, all of the sororities. So at Auburn it's all 18. So you really want to have a notebook so that you can write everything down, because during Rush Week I thought that I'd be able to remember everything about every house because I already had an idea of all the houses beforehand and felt like I could remember. But then when I was ranking after a 3-day long round and had to think back 3 days worth of parties, it was really helpful to have the notebook to look back on and be like, oh my gosh, like I did not even remember that. I'm really glad I wrote that down. Otherwise my ranking may have been a little messed up. So it's really fun to color code your notebook. I like to color code for each sorority, like alphabetical order. I think it was like Alpha Chi, then AD Pi, then Alpha Gam, then like so on. And so it was really fun because then like I'm Alpha Gam, so when I was color coding Alpha Gam, I just like did red, yellow, green, and I thought it was super cute. It's just a fun way to feel organized and like feel prepared and like have everything in one spot. And then the pens and the highlighters you will use for school, and they'll be so helpful. Next is the yummy stuff. As was said, I didn't know what else to title it because, I mean, you know, it's a wide range of things. You need Listerine strips and you need mints. I highly recommend Listerine strips. I very much disliked Listerine strips before Rush, but I learned to love them during Rush because they dissolve so quick and it's like the best thing. Hypothetically, if you have a Rush round, party, whatever your school calls them, if you have one at 8 a.m. and then you have one at 9 a.m. and you have to be lined up at certain times for each one to make sure that you're on time and you're accounted for and nothing bad happens, you don't really have time to eat a mint. Especially the Lifesaver mints that I have linked, they're like good for if you have more time in between. But when you have a little window of time, it's really good to have Listerine strips because they're gone in a second and they get the job done. Also, you need snacks because depending on how many parties you have that day and if you have a long break or not, you may not be eating lunch or early dinner until very late if you're super busy. So I highly recommend bringing your favorite snacks. Try to bring snacks that are good, maybe like granola bars, maybe something with protein, stuff like that. Also for snack, obviously water, but I already talked about that. That's so important. But I do have my favorite granola bars linked and I have some other little snacks linked, but don't overthink the snacks. Bring what you want, bring what will make you happy and make you feel full and get you through the day. This is so important. For anybody who lives in Alabama, you know that weather is an issue. And let me tell you, the monsoon that occurred during Rush last year, I personally believe that it is super important to have all 3 of these things because, for example, some girls love the new long skirt trend for philanthropy. I know that for years it's been short skirts, but a lot of girls have been bringing in the long skirts, which are so cute. But if it's raining and you're wearing a long skirt and you have a rain jacket and umbrella and the wind is blowing, your skirt is it's gonna get soaked. So having a poncho, even though I looked silly, all my outfits stayed dry and I was so happy. Your shoes may get a little wet, but I feel like during Rush, a lot of the time you're wearing heels, so you'll have a little bit of a platform to be above the water. One piece of Rush advice, if you're sweating, if you're wet from the rain, if anything's happening to you, it is most likely happening to everyone around you too, obviously with the rain, but if you're sweating, don't feel bad because everyone else is too, to a different extent, but I mean, everybody's going through it. Like I remember going into a Rush party one day after it had been raining and a lot of the girls were like soaked, like everybody had some little raindrops on their outfits, because once you do line up to go in the party, you can't have your umbrella anymore and you can't have all your stuff. So they do try to keep you inside, but everybody's gonna get wet and it's gonna be okay, but just try to be prepared. Speaking of incidents happening, like raining, you need to be able to freshen up your hair. So I have 3 different dry shampoos linked to my Amazon storefront. I have a normal one, a blonde hair, and a brown hair one. All of those, and I'm sure that if you go through those, if you have different color hair, you can find those too. I have a hairbrush and a comb also linked, and then some girls like to use claw clips during rush because it does get really hot, and if you just don't like your hair in your face, then sometimes in between parties people like to put their hair in a claw clip, so I have a bunch of those different ones. I have a cute little gold one in case you want to wear the claw clip into a party if you're just done with your hair being down. It's cute and it'll look very presentable. And then I have some cute little colorful ones, about 8 that come in a pack. The Alabama weather is very humid and super hot during August during rush, so it is super important to make sure that you are prepared to take care of your hair. Okay, while you're waiting in between parties, you may have a 15-minute break or you may have a 3-hour break. Depending on where you live or what you're going to do between parties, you may just be waiting. So I would definitely be prepared to wait, but also don't look at that as a bad thing. Because while you're waiting, you can make so many friends, you can start conversations, meet so many people, just like be excited and put yourself out there. But also when you're waiting, you may want to just have time yourself, like writing in your notebook. So I would highly recommend getting a portable charger, bringing a towel to sit on, especially if it has rained previously. You don't want to be sitting on like the wet ground. So the towel's really good to keep you all clean, and then also super comfortable shoes, because there was one day I had 5 parties in a row. My shoes were so uncomfortable. If I would have just took a little minute to change them in between parties just for a second to put some comfy shoes on, I'm sure I would have been in a lot better shape. But I would highly recommend putting some comfy shoes in your rush bag and changing out of them so that you can feel so much better and not have foot pain all day, because a lot of the rounds you will be standing for a long time. Here are some just in case items. I think that just in case whatever happens, you spill food on your shirt, you just a little lint's going on, you have a dress malfunction, a hair malfunction, I have some safety pins, bobby pins, I have some hair ties, I have a tied to go thing just in case your lunch gets on you at all. I have a lint roller which has replacement things, which also the lint roller is really good because even if you don't use it a lot during rush, you will use it a lot in your dorm, and it'll be super helpful for like any events, like after you're in your sorority and you want to look really good, no lint, because the dorms can get a little dusty. Also, you want some Advil just in case you get a headache, like the heat and like maybe lack of food. If you're not drinking enough water, which you should be, as I said, drink a lot of water, Advil will help, or any other medicine that you may need. I'm not making this up when I say that I feel personally that rush is notorious for making people sick. A lot of people are probably stressed out. Some people aren't having the best week. Some people are having the best week. Like, it's different for everybody. But a lot of girls do get sick. They get all the Alabama weather, like the pollen, like all the seasonal stuff, like everything that's going on. Like, if one person's sick and that person talks to a million girls that day, like everybody's gonna end up sick. So if you are decongested or anything, I actually did have decongestion medicine in my bag, and I had Tums for like heartburn and stuff. Like, just be prepared to bring some medicine just in case. But if you're feeling perfectly fine, then just bring Advil like the first few days, and then if anything develops, plan further. Also, the little band-aids that go on the back of your heel, or like they can go on your toe depending like what shoes you're wearing, those will be a lifesaver if you get blisters, because walking around is like a big thing that you have to do a lot of the time. So you want to make sure that you're comfortable and not in pain, especially when you're standing there talking to girls. Get the band-aids that help your blisters stay safe and not irritating you. Okay, so here's the last slide because you need to look and feel your best. I have some normal deodorant, spray deodorant, some perfume just to touch up, make sure you smell all good. You know, all those things are super important in the heat, as I've been saying a lot. I have some setting powder to help your face. I also have oil blotting sheets. Those are super important for the heat, or if you have oily skin, they're so helpful. Like if you're sweating, this may sound gross, but like if you're sweating, you can just like, you know, pat it away instead of like rubbing all your makeup off and everything. And then I have a little mirror that has a light. I have some hand sanitizer because you won't be like touching people, but you know, you just want to make sure you're all clean, especially if you bring snacks. Like use hand sanitizer before you eat the snacks. Okay, y'all, that is everything that you should be putting in your rush bag. I have all of that and a little more in my Amazon storefront, so go check that out. That'll be so helpful. In my Amazon storefront, I have the rush bag folder, and I also have like a dorm essentials, so if you want to check that out too, that'll be so helpful. There are a few things that you may want to look at last minute for your rush bag or for your dorm, or if you are just now accumulating your rush bag stuff, which is completely fine. You have 15 days, Auburn girls, from when I'm filming this till you have to rush, and some girls may even wait till they get to Auburn to get most of their stuff, so that's completely fine as long as you are prepared. Okay, y'all, thank you so much for watching. If you have any other video requests, as in like how rush rounds work, anything about dorm stuff, anything about rush stuff, anything, just let me know in the comments below. Like whatever y'all need, I will definitely try to make videos about it. But you can also go check out my TikTok, which is at kendall.lance, and I also have a lot of rush advice on there. So many different things that you can go look at, like when you're preparing, just to make yourself feel better. Thank y'all so much for watching, and good luck rushing. I hope y'all's rush bags turn out perfect and that you feel so prepared. Bye, y'all.